Hello, everyone. Welcome. My name is Misty Petrella. I am here with the ever lovely Melissa Kirkpatrick, and we're going to be talking about a very cool project we just got finished with. It's called A Day in the Life, and it's a collaborative book that is written by coaches for coaches. Now, Melissa here has written the chapter. Well, let me back up for just a second. She is a transformational life coach that works with people both on and off the driving range, actually, which is very cool. She also happens to be, are you an expert? Do you consider yourself a golf expert? How does that, tell us about your golfing and how this all plays into the thing. I want to hear more about that.
Okay, so thank you for inviting me. And again, my name's Melissa, and I have Find Your Own Drive. And it all started with having my own a few years ago. But as the owner and operator of a golf course for almost 10 years prior to that, I decided I needed to learn how to play the game of golf. And so I did. And then through my transformation and stepping into coaching, I recognized that how women show up on the golf course a lot of times is how they show up in life. So I started using the teaching of that, of letting them have the experience of the game of golf, and then from that help work their mindset, and then from there they start playing the game, and the transformation just kind of happens automatically. They start wearing cute little golf outfits, and they start playing in different events, and they get new golf clubs, and so it was such a connection for me because I recognized the power of the golf course for myself. I had a long time addiction to alcohol. And so that was one of the transformations that I let go of a couple of years ago. And through the support of this magnificent golf course, I found, my own little sanctuary that I could find the stillness that I needed. And that's another part of what I love to offer these women in the opportunity to play golf.
That is ever since I met you, which was probably a lot longer than I actually realized, probably a couple of years ago, I always thought this was the coolest combination of things. I think it is because I've tried to be out on a golf course, frankly, and it is the way you approach life. Oh, it's so true. I mean, it's just true. And what an amazing way to be able to bring these two, what would be seemingly disparate things, into such a beautiful combination.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And what I love about it is I have this knack to, because I self-taught myself, I wasn't going to have, an instructor tell me, because that's just the kind of personality that I have. I wanted them, to find their own way, like to, just because they tell you to swing a certain way or hold a club a certain way, it's okay. You can do it your way. Like instilling that in the very beginning, these women, it's like, but I need to do it this way, and the golfers on TV do it that way. And that's where, let that go. We're on the golf course. This is about you. And I think that was the hardest part for them to learn. But I knew how powerful it was, that if I can find my own drive, if I can find my own way of doing things, then that is what's going to keep me moving forward.
It's so true. It's so true. I'm talking about success this month, right? In my group, right? In sidebar. But we're talking about it, how it has to be under your terms. It can't be under anyone else's terms. And that's exactly what you're saying, which is exactly even cooler. Okay. So tell us about your chapter, which is about Find Your Drive, right? So very cool, by the way. I love your chapter name in concert with your work is probably one of the best ones in the whole book. So tell us more about your chapter. Very creative title.
So when I turned 30, I kind of had my little crises in life. This is prior to golf course ownership. And I recognized that my passion to teach was very strong. And so I wanted to be able to become a teacher. I worked in a school setting, and it just was like, it's time to do that. So at the age of 30, I went back to school, worked full time, raising 2 boys, taking care of my household and my husband and family. And in 4 years, I became a teacher, and I was a high school IT teacher. And then we bought, the second golf course, which I only taught for 7 years after earning my degree. But we went into the golf course business having 2 golf courses then. So I decided that it was time for me to do that full time. What I discovered in that was a couple of years ago during my transformation, when the alcohol and stuff started showing up and became more of my vice, like I was going numb and unconscious using the alcohol because of the success, like because of everything that was happening for me and my family and all the responsibility that was laid upon me and, making all this happen. And I was creating this amazing life for all of us, me and my husband and my two boys. But it became, pretty scary because it was like, oh my gosh. So that's where the alcohol showed up. And of course, eating and spending money and, finding all of those external ways to make myself feel okay with all of it. And then I recognized that, that's not me. That's not what I came here to do. And I had kind of a channeling come through of this find your own drive. And I was like, drive. Yeah, if you know me as a golf course owner, that works. And if you know me outside, I'm a motivated person. I'm excited. I have a lot of drive. And then the acronym became very clear to me that it all starts with the letter D of desire, which goes to R to receive, I to implement, V to visualize, and E to evolve. Yeah, I spelled that right.
That is so
and it was
cool.
just,
when I read that, I was like, oh my God, it just is perfect.
It works. It works. It
So
really
cool,
does.
Yeah. It's very cool.
And the connection between, going to college and then being a golf course owner, and the chapter touches on this, and I won't give all the juiciness away, but I actually did a project for college back, like in 2000. And it was my assignment was, I had to do a presentation that would teach teachers how to motivate students to want to learn. Right?
Wow.
And when I put motivate, I put it, like I Google search motivate students, and I found these two words, intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation. Huge words, hard to pronounce. And I just dove into it. Well, I can still remember the PowerPoint I created and everything. Like I see it so clearly, but at the time it didn't connect with me. And when it came time to write this chapter for the book, and I was, feeling like, how do I want to share this? It was like it flooded through into my memory. And it's like, I'm doing that 6 years later. It just has a different name for it. It's the motivation of drive, the determination. And I knew it was drive that got me through college at the age of 30. I knew it was drive that got me to purchase a golf course. I knew it was drive that kept me, going and releasing the addictions and coming into, full play, right? I have this big playing field now that I'm on, literally and figuratively.
Wow. So. That is such a cool story. Oh, you guys, you got to read this chapter. It's so good. Okay. So, a lot of the people that might be watching this are thinking, these two chicks wrote a book. I bet if they did it, I can do it. So now I had a ton of stuff come up for me, but what came up for you? This one isn't about me. This one's about you. So what came up for you in the writing of this book? Were you like, oh, I can't wait, or, oh God, I got to write a book?
Yeah. So, you always have that idea that you're going to put your message down in print. Like I felt there would be a book somewhere along the line, a memoir or whatever, but that was like way out there. And then this opportunity came up and I'm like, well, yeah, I want to do that. And I jumped on it, but then there was that pullback moment of like, oh, is this too good to be true? Is this really happening? Can I really produce something? And, why do they want me in the book? And then, the first few attempts was like, okay, I have nothing to say. It's like, what did I even put myself through this? And there was a lot of transitioning that was going on, which was amazing, and the support of the other women that were involved in it. And I even at one point said, well, I'm the weirdo in the group. My story doesn't match their story. And it was like, that's okay. We're all weirdos in our own way.
We're all weirdos. That's okay. Like, in my head, like, no way. We're all weirdos.
Yes.
I know. It's so beautiful. Yeah.
So, and it happened quickly, which made it even all the more better, because there was really no time to think about it. Like the progression of it was do this, do this, do this. And I love the timeline because it did keep you engaged in it. And so that's the part that I think was that I called in. It was like, I would have never done it if I had to, drag it out for a year or something like that. It was like, get busy, get focused, get it done. And then here we are now, published international #1 authors. So it was like, well, that was pretty cool.
Now, so when some of these videos that I recorded with the other authors, we didn't have that information yet. So let's publicly declare it. Guys, we are literally with this book, A Day in the Life, A Coach's Collaborative, is now a #1 international bestseller on Amazon. I don't know if you can see my goosebumps. I got goosebumps, dude. Yeah, that is pretty impressive. And what we also need to talk about is that the proceeds of this book aren't going to these two chicks on this call, right? It wasn't like we were like, hey, let's write another book and just make some money. We are donating the proceeds of this book to an organization called women2women.org. And I know they help women who are feeling in some way, like, I'm not using my words, not depressed, that's not even the right word. That women who are oppressed, thank you, oppressed in the world. But I believe that they're even more specifically doing a lot of work on borders, like in the Southwest and sort of in South America and in Central America, which is exciting. So we wrote a book that's going to help women around the world even more than it is exciting for us, right?
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing, you hear international, and like we have acquaintances and business partners that, from Ireland and from the UK, and it's like, we're internationally connected now. And, that was something that I never really felt would happen. And even though there was that desire, so now I'm scheduling all my travel around the women that I've met, in this process. It's like, I'm going to Ireland, I'm going here, I'm going there. So
we need to have a book tour. I really think that we should.
That would be awesome.
And the book tour, guys, is actually for us to travel around to each other's places of residence. It's not really to display the book for the world. No.
Right. No.
Okay, my dear. So thank you so much for sharing your beautiful story. Now, how can these fabulous viewers find more of Melissa in the world? How do we find more of you?
So the golf course is Lindale Golf.
Oop, I lost you for a second.
LINDALE.com. Golf.com. That's where
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Sorry. Yeah, say the name again. You were just saying the name and it slowed down. I want to make sure we hear it all.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So the golf course that I own is Lindale Golf Course. It's at Lindale Golf, LINDALE golf.com. That's where you can find the women golf section that I do my workshops and what I offer for women in golf. That's a local thing. I'm east of Cincinnati, Ohio. So that would be for those that would be local. For the mentoring and the transformational side of things, I'm at findyourown.drive.com. And also my Facebook group is Find Your Own Drive. And if you hop on over there, I have some exciting things coming up. And one of the groups that I've just created is Women with Drive. And it's a closed group. And I have some really great challenges that are going to be coming up in that. So if you're even thinking that there's something you really desire to do, and you're just not quite sure that everything would align for you to do it, and you're hearing all these other people saying it, stop it. Come on over to Find Your Own Drive, and I promise you there will be light shined upon what it is you desire, and I know that you'll be able to start moving towards that direction of that. So,
oh, honey, that is beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm so glad you told everybody. That's cool. Find your drive, guys. It's an easy way to find this woman. Just remember, find your drive.
Your own drive.
Remember
the own in there, because the chapter is Find Your Drive. But my company is Find Your Own Drive, because that's the thing. You can find a drive of other people, right? They can drive you to want to do something. But when you find it your own, at your own level, that's when the magic begins.
Oh, you guys, that's really true too.
Yeah.
Truer words could not have been spoken. Yeah. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Again, my name is Misty Petrella. I wrote the chapter on money mindset, just so you know. But this is Melissa's interview, so thank you so much, Melissa, for joining.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We couldn't be more, every time I talk to somebody, everyone's like, I can't believe we did it, you guys. The energy is so fabulous. So thank you so much for being here. You guys have an amazing day. Go check out Melissa's work, and we'll see you on the flip side, guys. Bye.
Bye. Thanks.